Before being dragged down. I realized that I'd forgotten to plug in my microphone, and that's why I held my finger up for that, because I was like, wait, the microphone's not plugged in. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope the day has been restful and or productive for y'all. I would say it has been for me. Um, Pardon me for being late. I had to put some code um, in a headlock and shake it until it um, obeyed me and did the things that I wanted it to do. So now that we've managed to successfully do that, I was like, all right, bet I can actually sit down and come hang out with everybody. So yeah, I would say definitely a success. Yeah, beat some code before you beat some scrubs. Yeah, pretty much. I'm very happy about how it turned out because without getting too deep into revealing client business, it involves a feature of um, both good. It involves a feature of Godot that also technically exists in Unity, but um, was always more of a pain to work with in Unity. Um, Godot is a lot more open about the way that it works, and because Godot in particular, um, I'll indulge in a little bit of talking shop here because I know that y'all like live and die for that shit. Um, Basically speaking, when you are serializing data to a disk, right? Or to phrase it in less like highfalutin terms, when you are figuring out how to, at least in this particular case, right? When you're figuring out how to encode data and information to a disk, right? Um, there are a lot of different ways that you can sort of choose to handle it. The way that Godot particularly approaches this issue with things like, hey, so if you have a scene file in Godot, right, and you were to go look and find that scene file on your computer and attempt to open it, right? How is it encoded? What would happen? All this other stuff. When we talk about serializing data, that's the sort of thing that we mean. Like, how is whatever it is that we're working on, how is it saved and stored on a hard drive, right? And the thing is that while Godot, for example, for its scene file, uses something called a .tscn file. All right, I forgot the blazing past the thing now in Strive. Forgot about that. Eh, whatevs. Um, right. So, with the way that Godot in particular serializes its assets, the way that like .tres for resource files are saved and .tscn for scene files are saved, for example, and a lot of the other stuff that Godot does, while it is saved with these custom file extensions, you can actually open them up in like um, Notepad or WordPad or whatever, and you have access to all the data without it like turning into weird junk symbols and things like that, right? Um, and I bring this up because I forget if Unity's equivalent of, for example, doing a thing where like, hey, I need to create a custom type of resource that belongs to my game. And in that custom type of resource is defined 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all these other things, right? With Godot, when you do that and you set up a script for a particular thing that you want to define that way, and then you turn that into a resource file, or you have it make a resource file later, it's saved as plain text so that you can look at it from wherever and read whatever data is theoretically. There is very little that Godot does in the way of encrypting that a human being cannot read in some aspect, even if some of the specific structure stuff might be a little bit like, what's going on? Basically, you can open up almost any file that is explicitly exclusive to Godot in a text editor, and you can read things like the coordinates of where certain objects are placed in a scene and all that other stuff. It's very cool. I like it a lot. I think that it is one of the sickest things that Godot could have possibly set up. Unity has something similar. Well, Unity, you can't quite do the same thing with like its scene files and stuff like that, because when you try, it will in fact give you like weird symbols and shit because of the encoding. I say all that to say that just that now that I figured out this particular thing in structure, I am very happy about I'm very happy about the overall.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. Duel 1. Let's rock!
I got first. I should have warmed up, and I didn't, and that's on me. I'm allowed to be a little naughty today because reasons. Oh, I'm probably actually literally dead. So, the main thing about the move that Slayer just used on me, you may be wondering, like, how did he kill you like that? That particular super from Slayer requires him to have a full super meter in order to pull it off. And if it hits, it basically just does fuck you damage, and you just die. But again, he needs like a full super meter to do that. He shouldn't have been able to. I think I punished too slow, because you're not supposed to be able to. You're not supposed to be able to roaming cancel immediately after you do a super move. But I may have just not pressed the button quickly enough to punish. I really. I do my best to try not to be super salty whenever people don't give you the run back. But I really don't like it when it's like, alright, I did one. It's like, nope, I'm not going to run it back. I'm like, you're... I'm just like... I'm of two minds. Because I understand intellectually that, like, you know, people are not obligated to give you a run back. But also, like, unless the connection is bad, doing a one and done just... it rankles. I don't like it.
We've got a newcomer. Are you ready? Here comes Daredevil. Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beasts, heaven, or hell.
Oh, my bad. I haven't been reading chat. Hold on. Just because it's not illegal doesn't mean it's not rude as fuck. Yeah. I was talking about this with, for those of you who know Twisted, you know, but I was talking pleasantly Twisted about this, or I was talking pleasantly Twisted about this, like, yesterday, I want to say, or something like that, where I was just like, yeah, the reason why I quit doing ranked matches fighting games is because I really, there's a part of me that very deeply, like, craves having, like, good, long sets. I really don't like it. Like, there are times, obviously, where, like, depending on the day or what have you, like, my actual endurance for a good long set is, like, not quite as high as I would like it. But in most circumstances, I really prefer it just because, like, yeah, like, I like long sets, even just, like, sets where we have, like, a nice best of 3 or what have you, because, like, being able to adapt quickly is important in fighting, right? Like, I'm never going to, like, dismiss that as a skill, but, like, if you're talking about, like, just having stronger consistency in your ability to perform in fighting games, yeah, like, that's my thing. Yes, study. That's my main thing. Like, the reason why I like long, even, like, just have, like, a nice, good first to 3, even if it's not, like, a first to 5 or 7 to 10 or whatever, is just that, like, I like having the opportunity to try to, like, understand specifically what the answers are to things I'm dealing with. Because, yeah, like, I'll lab it out in training mode sometimes if I can reproduce the situation. But for me in particular, just, like, let me have the set against you so I can, like, understand specifically the things that you're doing. And I don't like being denied that opportunity. It annoys me a little bit. Like, speaking, I try to be careful about how I frame this because I understand that, like, not everybody is out here, like, trying to, like, prove some shit in fighting games. I get that. So I'm trying to be empathetic to that. But for me in particular, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're going to be playing these games with any kind of, like, level of seriousness, even, like, a little bit, right? It's one of those things where, like, if you value winning far more than you do, like, the actual opportunity to, if you value winning far more than you do the actual opportunity to, damn it. If you value winning far more than the opportunity to, like, actually learn something that you might not have known, you're kind of cheating yourself a little bit, right? That's my general feeling. And again, like, I understand that not everybody is, like, out to trying to play fighting games, like, in a hyper sweaty sort of way, and I understand that. But it's also one of those things where, like, by virtue of the fact that, like, you're playing a genre where you're interacting with another human being, you kind of accept that's also sort of the, it's sort of like the price of it, you know? And, there. Like, if you're really only in fighting games to win, and you hate losing, then, like, really, you're kind of wasting your time. in that sense. I feel
Mankind
like.
that they cannot change
Okay, this is the core of what I'm trying to say.
instead of reflecting on themselves, they may
I'm not going to assume that everybody who plays a fighting game is like trying to chase enlightenment through fighting games or what have you. Like, that's not the way everybody thinks about these things, and I understand that. But I guess the way to put it is that like there are a lot of people who have a tendency to go like, well, you know, it's not that deep about a lot of things, and then they kind of cheat themselves out of the sort of feeling that you get from like giving enough of a shit about something to actually try. There are a lot of people who like to go, it's not that deep, in order to like avoid investing their ego in something so that they don't have to feel bad about not being good at it. And it's like that is a really kind of like half-assed way to live. To me personally. Yeah. Yeah, 2S was not fast enough for that situation. This is not going to kill. But it is going to put Bridget in a situation where have meter and plus. I got really lucky that she didn't press another button there. If she pressed the button that had even slightly more disjoint, I would have eaten that kind of shit there. I got very lucky. I got the burst. Really only thing to worry about. There we go. Because the thing I finally noticed after a little bit, it took me a little bit to like lock in. I noticed that Bridget was always standing up to avoid, to try to block the Gekirin, so it's like, alright, lol, switch to Ryutsui. Like, the little flaming, like, slide kick thing, is, this one, is Ryutsui. It's a low, right? Gekirin is a high. So if you're in a position where you're doing like stuff like, if you're doing like that kind of stuff, and you're like, oh wow, I'm doing Gekirin and they're blocking. This is very annoying. Switch to Ryutsui. Catch them with the low. Maybe do that like 1 or 2 times. And this is the thing that like, now I am roughly at that stage of like understanding how to play Jam, where it's like, I need to start making more of a habit out of switching between, I'm doing my best to try to like get an understanding of how to switch between Ryutsui and Gekirin more frequently in my pressure, so that I can make people scared about which one I'm going to do. Because let's say, right? Let me see if I can get this going.
We've got a newcomer.
Hang on a second. I need to get this fucking thing off of the... Get off the screen. Shit. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. I accidentally pulled up a thing on my screen and I can't get it to go away. And I accidentally Alt F4'd out of Strive while I was trying to get it to shut off. My bad. Oh, you're in the general lobbies. That doesn't right for me. Oh, hi, Pillow Talk. Yeah. So because you probably missed, because you're new, welcome on in, first of all. I don't play very much ranked in fighting games anymore. Sometimes I will if I'm just like, all right, I'm in the mood. But especially within the last couple months, I've been deliberately making a hard divestment away from ranked games, because what happens is that, especially for Strive, I committed super hard. I'm like, I'm going to go as long as I can without doing any ranked matches with Jam. And that's mostly because the numbers, like that shit, gets in your head and starts messing with how you actually are sort of like engaging with the game in terms of like, I need to understand how this character works. You're focusing way more on like the thing. I'm trying to phrase this the right way. For me, at least, when I've been doing a lot of ranked matches, what winds up happening is that I focus way too heavily on, I have to get the numbers going up, and that incentivizes me to learn bad habits that are more about like, how do I optimize for winning, as opposed to, let me understand the character's toolkit and learn what it is that I'm doing before I go fuck around. So like, as a general rule, yeah, like I'm like, I do not play ranked in fighting games nearly as much anymore, if I can help it. If I really need games, then I will. But I try to go as long as I can without doing it, because I really want to make sure that I've given my brain space to like sit down and actually absorb the things that I'm not doing, and to like learn some new habits. Okay. Good one on the Bridget. Got first. Yeah. Thank goodness I didn't press anything. Otherwise, that was too close. No. God damn, she stalled herself just high enough. I couldn't catch her. But yes, welcome on in, Pillow Talk. Welcome to the Game King. I hope you enjoy your stay. Yep. I tried to go for a grab. Knock the baby. No. Yeah, okay. Okay. I gotta think a little bit more. Because that back hop jump was specifically to avoid getting pit thrown. So like the Bridget is awake enough to avoid stuff like that, and I'm not getting a chance to get close enough to try to enact pressure. So I have to sort of gotta think of something a little different here. Looking to see if they're gonna start ship. There we go.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Nope, it's the wrong ball. Yeah, and this is the part that's annoying about Bridget in this game in particular. It's mostly that, like, a good Bridget who understands I messed up the block the wrong time. Yeah, and then I'm too impatient and I keep approaching from the air and getting fight, whatever that move is. Probably like a 2S or 2H, I think. Because of the startup time and stuff like that, that's... Alright, let's see here.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Oh.
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Nah. Accidentally working during these. I'm like the spade thing.
Slap. Duel 3. Let's rock.
Me too probably would have also got caught. So I don't.
Slap.
寝てれば愛じゃないよ。
We made it work. How you doing, Ham? Hopefully well. You destroyed that child? 1 and 2. They had a much better grasp of neutral. And they were picking their attacking spots with Jam against Jam exceptionally well, rather. So, I don't know about destroyed. It took me way too long to start thinking about switching between Gekiden and Ritsui. I'm just like, I really should have. This is gonna hurt though. I'm good. I'll be writing the I've been friends intending for a while. No. I'm not reading that out loud.
Viking versus Jam. Duel 1.
Ooh. Yeah, this is rough. Yeah, like this is the kind of this is the rare situation where I'm like, I will do this is the rare situation where like I'll do a one and done after fighting somebody when like I'm fucking underwater. Nah. Like this is miserable. Light spike. Yeah, this is just a pallet. Oh, thank God they agreed to cancel the match. It's like, oh God, that was nasty. Heading off the smart toaster is wild. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I forgot. The Blazing Pass went live with the recent patch. I wasn't thinking about it because for my own mental health, I largely do my best to try not to get too stuck in my ass about Battle Pass stuff. I don't. I think from what has been said about the Blazing Pass, I don't think they like ever. I don't remember if it's explicitly a thing where it's like they don't ever expire or something. But yeah, Battle Passes. I'm not super fond of those as a concept in terms of like, oh yeah, come back and play every week because retention. I'm like, I'm not very fond of that.
We've got a newcomer. Are you ready? Here comes Daredevil.
Don't worry, I can hear the both of us. Yeah, so like on principle, I don't really fuck with Battle Pass type content because I'm like I don't have the energy to be like hyper shitty about it, but I don't. From a personal practice perspective, as a game designer,
Mankind knew that
I
they cannot change society.
would very much prefer to never be in a situation where I have to implement them. I don't think that they're helpful for retention in the ways that people actually value. You're turning playing the game into a job in certain aspects, and that, for a lot of people, is not a good time. Here's the card. I could have done Mugen to kill, but I messed it up. Yeah, but if it's FOMO, I don't care about it. They never expect. Yeah, like that's the thing, right? Like, yeah, they're not using the lightning strike at all, so. Damn it! Yeah, they're not using lightning strikes at all, which means that their projectiles are basically no fucking threat. Kai got the ability to turn his stun edge, and I believe also the bigger fireball, his grand stun edge. There are points at which he can call down a lightning bolt where they're flying and turn them into like a straight vertical hitbox, and that stops Jam from like getting vertical clearance over them. He then has to rely on yeah, that. Use your arc. Good burst.
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Ah, yeah, stun did burst. Good call. Yep, my fault. I pressed JH to try to match in the air, and that's not like bad, but JH is a little slow to start up. You have to be very deliberate about it if you're gonna. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, good Baker thrust. Good Baker thrust. Oh, I can't fucking believe it. I parried the dragon install. I parried the dragon install. I parried the dragon install. I'm fucking godlike. Wow. I was assuming that what was going to happen was that the Fuja arc was going to come out. So I did parry, thinking that Fuja arc would come out and I might be able to catch it and then blow their shit up. And instead I parried the dragon install. I think the follow-up, I could have probably done it safely and killed, but I was expecting Fuja arc. So I wasn't on the ball enough to try doing 6P afterward to get the follow-up and potentially kill. But it's great. So, to talk a little bit about Jan's parry. Here's the way that it works, right?
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of Duel 1.
Oh. They agreed to rematch. I thought they hadn't. Yeah, see? There could be stun dipper, but I don't know if they've gotten you all some shock sting. Huh. Yeah, I'm over quick here. Yeah. They got the ground out. So RTO hits. Yeah, I'm cooked. That's fair. It's like time stopping Soul Dragon spell cursed. Yeah, good. Oops. Thank you for the damage. Oops. I made it in and then promptly fucked up the button to press. That's my own fault. Hard knockdown, Future Arc while I'm in shock state. Yep. I think this should kill. Ooh. Yeah, if I hadn't gotten the wall break, it definitely wouldn't have killed. Because roaming cancels do reduce the damage that you do shortly after doing one. No. Why are the guilds guilty? Are they Catholic or something? There's actually an interesting lore reason behind that. It's also high cackle. Oh, shit. Yeah, I fucked up so much in that in those interactions. So, the main reason why the series is called Guilty Gear is because in this setting, a gear is basically a bioengineered sentient super weapon. They can appear humanoid or appear animal-esque or anything in between, depending on the depending on the depending on how they were made and all that other kind of stuff. But the concept is that well, actually, that's the funny thing, Stubby. You joke, but like essentially speaking, the guilty gear in question is the main protagonist, sole bad guy. Without getting too deep into it, because he is in the lore the prototype for all gears, he is technically basically the metaphor that they gave at one point is that it's the equivalent of, because Soul was the first gear that was ever created, and more importantly because he used to be human, he is sort of one of the only ones who understands, who essentially understood right from wrong without essentially being made for combat. And so he is the only one who is... The conceit behind what they were saying, if I remember it correctly, is something akin to, you can't feel guilt about something. Exactly. Yeah. He wasn't the one who turned himself into a gear. So that's not, so is that thing? Yeah, essentially speaking, it's an original sin hour. Essentially speaking, while he wasn't the one who turned himself into a gear, the idea, at least at the time that the concept of like the guilty gear was discussed, the series wasn't getting deep enough into it at the time to sort of like put a little more nuance behind the way that like gears are portrayed. But the general idea was that edge. Hang on. I gotta focus me for like half a second now. I'm kind of fucking cooked here. There we go. Yeah, basically the idea, at least at the time that they discussed what the concept of the guilty gear was, is that like Soul was the only gear that, or Soul was the first gear ever created, and by proxy would have been probably, of the ones that people knew of and from what they understood of gears at the time, the only gear that would have been capable conceptually of understanding what the difference between right and wrong, because gears were otherwise made for weapons, made with weapons, right? And so hence he is the guilty gear. That is the way that they phrased it at the time. There have been a lot more discussions within the concept, within the context of the series' own lore, where the truth of just how incapable of like reasoning and understanding gears are came into question. But at the time of like the original game, where gears are kind of like always portrayed as like chaotic evil as fuck by nature, quote unquote, Soul being the only gear that used to be human, therefore would have been the only one to understand what it was like, the difference between right and wrong, because he wasn't made as a weapon. He wasn't made as a weapon. He grew up as a human and thus would have understood the difference between right and wrong. And hence the only gear that's capable and guilty is him. That's the conceit that they went with in the original. Though Guilty Gear being Guilty Gear, it does, in actually very poignant ways, later on sort of question that narrative at all, in the sense of like, is it really true that gears can't like conceive of anything except destruction? Is that really the only type of existence that they are? Is that really all that they are? It is something that comes up a lot over the course of the series. And the ultimate answer that the game decides on is yes, gears are not just like engines of destruction. They're, as the series goes on, there are plenty of characters who are gears who demonstrate the ability to, you know, to love and to care, be reasonable, and to like not just be always chaotic evil. Why do I always have to give a popsy when I'm joking? It happens that way. Let me go find an article to make sure I didn't mess come back. Who is the JP here? Okay, right. Sorry. Here's the other part that I forgot to talk about. Oh, my bad. So, while Soul was not responsible for turning himself into a gear, he did work on the project that led to the creation of the gears, which is the other reason why. That's where the actual original sin thing kind of comes in, right? He didn't turn himself into a gear, somebody else did, but he worked on the gear project that was responsible for creating gears in the first place. And so by proxy of that, when he became a gear himself, you know, I'm waggling my hand. I'm waggling my hand a bunch because I don't know how else to describe it, but what I'm saying is that this game's story is actually very deep and heartwarming when you look into it. Okay, so I'm in shock state now, which... Oh, not anymore, because I managed to kind of didn't do it. Unfortunate. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I got first. Fine. Nope. Oh, unfortunate. Jumped over me. I've been even getting Guilty Gear because the trans girl, unfortunately, easy like that, like AIDS in the early 2000s. You have a trans girl and a non-binary person. So yeah, you got options. Damn it, I didn't do it correctly. No. I messed up doing my super input at least 2 times during that. I am upset at myself, but it's my own fault. I messed it up. It's what it is. Alright, it's fine. I'll hold that.
I knew that they cannot change society. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Yeah, that's fair. There we go. Now that I'm remembering to actually, like, Roman cancel my throws when I have resources, that's good. My own fault. I was too impatient and I went in up high when I really needed to do that. Nah, you can't do that. Can't do that. If you do stun dipper and you don't space it right, if you don't have shock state on and they block it, you get fucked over. Can't do that. But yeah, alright, ad break is over. Welcome back from ads. But yeah, Cackle, both a trans girl and a non-binary person. That's fair. I'm hit. That was a fantastic reversal on their part. Yep, and then, yep. Yep, good paper cross. I need to be a little bit more deliberate about trying to poke on the ground. Yeah, fair. Yeah, basically the reason why, if you can, you want to avoid getting put into shock state by Kai is because a lot of his other moves get enhanced if you are in shock state when he hits you with them. Diareklat just apply shock state, but if you get hit by like Fudra Arc while you're in shock state, Kai gets much more hit stun and block stun, which means that basically if he hits you with Fudra Arc, the flip kick, while you're in shock state, combo extensions for days, and you get absolutely fucked the fuck up. It's not fun. So basically the way that you get out of shock state is that you have to hit Kai. As y'all saw, at least in the moments when I wasn't like completely botching my response, the way that you sort of avoid, especially as Jam, getting hit by stun edge, especially if the Kai is not using the lightning strike stuff, If you just Bakshu will take you under most of it because of how low profile it is. Even for like Grand Stun Edge, um,
We've got a newcomer. Are you ready? Here comes Daredevil. Mankind. Duel 1.
oh hey, it's May.
Let's rock.
Alright. We gotta deal with this now. Yeah. This pop. Ah. I had the right idea, but I did have to like press forward for part of that, and that's not helpful. Okay. I don't know. I know that May got the ability to dismount her. Like, she hasn't always had the ability to dismount dolphins the way that this May is doing, but I don't remember when she got it, and I don't think it. I don't know. I have to look. I need to look at the patch notes probably. How the fuck did you... Actually, did you guys hit it? Yeah.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
I don't know if this will kill, but I want to feel as close to forcing a kill as I can. Fuck! Yeah. I don't know when she got the ability to do those quick dismounts like that, where it's like she'll do it and then fly high or something, and that's been every maid that I've fought, at least recently. She's probably been able to do that for a while, and I just haven't known because took a break from this game for a while, so it's a pretty good chance that it's like she's been able to do this for a while and I just don't know. Or I just didn't know. Yeah. Yeah, that little bounce there. Yeah, that. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look it up because I. Yeah, alright, I want to take a look. Because now I am confused. Because what is going on with Mystic Dolphin? Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Alright.
We've got a newcomer. Are you
Alright.
ready?
That makes sense. So, basically speaking, what May has... I went to go look it up. I didn't look at the frame data, I just wanted to look at the move specifically. So, with Horizontal Dolphin, May has two versions of it. The faster version and the slower version. If you block... I know that usually if you block the heavy version, which is slower, it's not your turn afterward because like it's plus as fuck. But basically May has a thing where she has the ability to either make sure that like... If it's Horizontal Dolphin, she has the ability to stop riding it. That's split right there. Like that, when she did the jump off of it and did that, that's split. Really? The taunt afterward, too? Yeah, it's bad. I should have been a little bit less impatient to just block that. And then they would have died. But it's okay. It's my fault. Yeah. Yeah. The hard thing about like kind of swing back against May is that because a lot of her normals are very big, even if they're slow, defensively she has a lot of options. And also, guessing incorrectly against Dolphin stuff is kind of a pain. I wasn't even watching. I didn't even get that meter. My fault. Yeah. Ah, this is rough. Yeah, let me look. Okay, so slash dolphin is unsafe on hit like -4. So it's not. Yeah, doesn't surprise me that much. Because I was trying really hard to try to pressure that May in situations where it's like, nah, it's not happening.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts. Heaven or hell.
やっぱりそうね。料理人の花と乙女の美形センサーは騙せないよ。
やむを得ん。かくなる上は新作開発への協力を願う。貴様こそいい女。
Venom versus Jam. Duel 1. Let's rock.
任せます。始めよう。
That's fair.
始めよ
What the? I don't think that was his throw. Did they give Venom a command throw? That's kind of sick, actually. I can't be upset about that.
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Yeah. Good use of the lows there. Really close. There we go. Max the hit. I don't know if it's like max damage for that situation. Ooh, Dark Angel. Oh, it's still my burst. Excellent.
Slap.
What a... They stole my burst. That was very, very clean. They weren't able to capitalize off of it, but that was good first base. They really might have given Venom a command throw. And if they didn't, and his regular throw does that, it's pretty fucking sick. Not gonna front. Nice, Debbie. Yep. And Venom has traditionally been a very difficult matchup for Jam, if only because usually Jam has to spend a lot of the time making sure that she's not like running face first into pool balls. And Venom does have ways of like stuffing. If Venom has placed his balls carefully, he has ways of making sure that he's... Okay, Venom has a command throw. He gave Venom a command throw. Ooh, what a burst steal. Yeah, good punish. Yeah, you see? A very careful use of like the lows and stuff like that stops me from being able to like really proc you effectively. That's one of the things that like the Venom that's on the ball is really able to make use of that. I didn't have to only cancel for that, which is really good. And it's good I didn't have to only cancel for that because that left me with meter in case I had to like... Yeah, fair. Yeah. Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay, I see. Yo. Alright. They gave Venom some real juice here. So, I was correct in that the move that where he grabs you and turns you into like a pool ball that can be hit, as opposed to like snagging you and then the Robokai's head coming in to punch you in your shit and then explode, right? The command throw, where the command throw where Venom turns you into a ball and hits you, it reduces the damage that he's able to do to you, right? While he does reduce damage to you, he can move you into position and hit you with a lot of his other moves that move pool balls.
We've got a newcomer. Are you ready? Here comes Daredevil. Mankind knew. Duel 1.
Ooh, still in the dark. It's a good one. Hey! Ham came here to haunt me, clearly. Yeah. The other part that's difficult about doing with Axel is that when he throws Rensengeki, the chain that goes forward, and eventually you see like the explosion, Jam can't box shoot through that because the hitbox is too low.
Duel 3. Let's rock. First match.
You know. It won't kill, but I wanted to have all of my cards as options. Ugh, made it. Just barely. Ah, thank God, JH is such a big button. And whatever, and grateful that whatever Axel picked was not fast enough to stop it. At least not at the space and the place that he pressed it. Otherwise, that would have been bad. Oops.
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
God damn it, I wanted to do Puffball Super. Let's stock up. But I messed up the input.
Slap.
Yeah, there we go.
寝てれば愛じゃないよ
And now that I'm remembering that I have other buttons to use in the air aside from JH, I'm having slightly more success with making sure I don't get fucking closed out. Yep. Pass too close. That's fine.
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Yep.
Slap.
The other thing that's unfortunate for Axel is that essentially if Axel does not have 50 meter and you wall break him, and he does not have 50 meter by the time the wall break is done, you literally just get to run up on him and do whatever the fuck you want because he's not getting out. He just kind of eats shit. And that's why I kind of like took the risk that I did.
We've got a newcomer. Are you ready? Here comes
Okay, it's another Kyle. Let's see how it goes.
Mankind knew that they... Duel 1.
Look at them. Yeah. Yeah, no, some of it's good. Ah, I called it out and I didn't do the input correctly. Game.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
That's my fault. I pressed J, so I pressed faster. Yep. Yeah, I couldn't make it in time. I started doing the input, but my reversal, I would have had to be really tight on my reversal timing to get that to actually work properly, and I wasn't. So I got kicked in the face,
Mankind.
or kicked in the toes even. Watch out for the 5 you have to see. 5B, you mean? Yeah. Ah. Hi Nick, how you doing? Nope. Not great. Unfortunate. All the same, we were having last year. Nothing new bug, game bug, to be honest. But they could be like that. Not very crazy stuff. Good time. Ah. Him. No, I messed up the input. I got JS instead of jumping Gekirin. It's my own fault. I messed up the input. I probably just hit forward instead of doing a proper quarter circle forward. Yep. What a call out. Yep, there we go.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, trying to problem solve in the middle of matches. Not a thing that most people should try doing. You do need to at least recognize. I'm trying to think about what I was doing not great there. My error, I think a thing I know I consistently have an issue with as far as
Are you ready?
happy chaos, of course. But yeah, one of the things that I
We've got a newcomer. Are you ready? Here comes Daredevil.
lol, the happy chaos switched to Slay.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Happy chaos and sad order comes in. That's a kill. There we go.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Yeah, I should be quick too.
Slap. Duel 3. Let's rock. Positive bonus.
Yeah, I don't know why you were trying to do that again. The thing that they were doing that I wasn't stuffing that I just stuffed just now was then like, I'll just walk up slowly and throw. Like, okay. I fell for it a couple times, so it's not like it was a bad idea, but like there's a certain point at which like, no, you can't do that. Like you're doing it now, and it's like, come on now. Wrong, like didn't do the image correctly.
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Go. Oops.
Slap.
Yeah, I don't know. Either they pick Slayer to be nice, or their Happy Chaos is better. I don't know which, but they don't really have it. They're not doing the things that Slayer should really be doing. Some of this could be that they're doing so they can switch. I'm not really sure. Oh no, they're fighting a little bit now.
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Yeah, it could be, which is fine.
負けただけが嫌でしょ
But mostly just like an observational perspective, the Slayer not active in the ways that make the most sense for Slayer to be active with, and so it's like, yeah, I'm not feeling the vibe.
We've got a newcomer. Are you ready? Here comes Daredevil. Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts. Heaven or hell.
Bro's just progging with Slayer. I mean, yeah, better here than in ranked, because at least you don't have numbers getting in your way. Oh hey, this is the thing with the axle that I was fighting earlier. Have to take the opportunity. So, an important thing to know about Asuka. While Asuka has that blue glow around his health bar, he has what's called mana, which, aside from him using it to fuel his spells, it makes sure that he doesn't, that he takes reduced, or at least normal-ish damage from most moves. Once Asuka's out of mana, he basically turns into a piece of paper. And his mana does regenerate once he's run out. It's just that the amount of time that it takes to do that is a lot PM. Or at least... I might get should have maybe tried to run me cancel here and there to try to... I was trying to see if they would burst after the throw, and they didn't. Because if they bursted after the throw, I would have wanted to block and then hit them afterward, and then they would have been a video. I was trying to do that. My fault. Should have done retweet. Probably. Because that is one of the things that I don't have with, is that I don't, on pressure, I tend to go for get even a little bit too often, and I don't vary it enough. And I know that's a problem, and I've been trying to work on it, but it's hard. Good. Even with mana up, they were low enough that I was able to get them. Yeah, see? They're stopping that, so I need to... Yeah, I'm cooked. I messed up. I messed up badly.
やはり失礼だよね。僕には闘争心の
Duel 1.
So the other thing about Asuka that I should explain is I'm mostly just sitting here, like, not actively even looking at what spell. Can't believe Asuka sent this detail that shape to fucking kill you. Yeah, basically, the way that it works is that Asuka has a set of spells called test case, and he has multiple test cases to choose from, right?
さざ波
But as you can see, like, I can in fact, like, bust some of the heat shoots. It's just a matter of, like, I have to be in the right position, basically, to make it work. It's not gonna kill, but I wanted this, basically. But I wanted the pressure, and I didn't do it correctly. It's my own fault. Yeah, we talked about that. Oops. Fuck me. You guessed right again.
サンプルを回収
Yeah, that's the part that's a little bit rough and a little bit annoying. But it's I basically made a bad call as far as that goes. And that's on me.
We've got a newcomer. Are you ready? Here comes Daredevil. Duel 1.
Alright, let's see.
Let's rock.
Not the same made the limit earlier today, I think, but because May can't do a split off of vertical belt, only off of horizontal. Yes, it's not safe after vertical. Not if I block it. But I have to block it coming up. Down, not so much. Yeah, like blocking it coming down, she has air options. Yeah, like basically, literally, if I block vertical dolphin when she's coming down, then I kind of eat shit. Which is the part that I think I was trying to figure out when I was fighting the mate previously, and I was getting dolphined at, and I couldn't get it. But now I at least have kind of an understanding of that being thing that happens. The only question is like, how do I actually deal with that? No. Yeah. Fuck me. Cut it out. Yeah, so maybe a Ryujin might catch. Maybe. No, the angle's not high enough. Fuck me. Yeah. Literally, vertical dolphin is the part that's just a pain in the ass. Because if I block it while she's coming down, I have the opportunity to move, but then it's like if she backdashes, how do I call out the backdash? Go. There we go. Yeah, because it's mostly like it's mostly literally just getting hit by vertical dolphin on the way down is kind of a problem. Yeah. It's it's like it's like slash vertical dolphin that is also kind of getting me in the most trouble. That's the answer. I wish this would kill, but it probably won't. Not have enough to really make sure they kill. Ooh. 'Cause that was the hard part. It's like making sure that May didn't escape. It's literally the moment that she, if I'd given her even a minute to like kind of breathe and get out, I would have eaten shit. Alright, one more.
Are you ready?
And honestly, yeah, against the May again, I'll take care of it.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Whatever they were doing, I stopped it, and I'll take that. Yeah. Fine. First. And this will get me the wall break. This May has not presented Orca as a wake up option, so no. Yeah, okay. So that's the other thing I need to stop doing. didn't mean to do that. I was trying to hit 2S, but I was mashing 2-2. Clown. But yeah, basically I think one of the things, if I can catch it in this match, is my stock. If I stop trying to jump at May when she's very clearly crouching, I'll stop getting hit by vertical dolphin so much.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Like, part of what's getting messed up against May is that this May specifically is making a point of taking the time to crouch at the right distances and just making me like jump through some other shit I shouldn't be doing and then vertical dolphin. Yeah, like that. Yeah. So you see how if you notice I'm crouching a lot and then it's like, aha, dolphin. And that's essentially the part that I'm having trouble kind of contesting because I like to sort of stay in the air for certain sort of approaches and that doesn't work against May specifically doing vertical dolphin at the distance that she is. And then she'll bait a response with vertical dolphin and then do like a backdash. There we go. You're cooked now. Sounds suffocating. I think Dolphin is safe on block. Slash Dolphin is not safe on block. The vertical one. I'm sorry. Horizontal slash Dolphin is not safe on block. Horizontal heavy slash Dolphin is. Mostly what this is going to come down to is just that, like, I need to jump less so that I'm not getting caught by the dolphin as much. But yeah, it is a little suffocating, but the main thing is mostly that, like, if I was paying more attention to how, I'm not going to be able to predict it all the time, but if I was paying more attention to how May was moving after vertical dolphin, if I was paying more attention to that more frequently, I probably wouldn't have gotten hit as much. but I might have been able to just intercept with air-to-airs or something more often as far as vertical dolphin goes. Horizontal dolphin, yeah, horizontal dolphin. If I'm not trying to mash out the heavy dolphin, I'm fine. Horizontal dolphin slash dolphin. If May doesn't space it correctly. Let me see. Yeah, the main thing, I guess, probably is that, like... Never mind. Even on block, horizontal dolphin slash version is like -4. So, if she leaves a big enough gap for Jam to parry, then Jam, if it's slash dolphin, Jam can probably parry it. I would have to test it. I can't be sure, but it feels like parry is either the thing you want to do there, or the shield, maybe, because the main thing, at least for dolphin, is that if you're blocking horizontal dolphin, you don't want May near you. That's the part that you want to avoid, because if May is near you, oh, I guess we'll find out. There's a way I can figure my way around this.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts, heaven, or hell. Duel 1. Let's rock!
Yeah, this one is already immediately easier because they're not as shit-headed with the dolphins, which means I can get away with a lot more. I don't mean that as an insult to the way that the other May was playing, but it's more so that, like, the other May... The thing about the way the other May was playing is that they have, because they were, one, more willing to use dolphins, and two, had a better command of their normals. Because this is the thing about May in particular. While some of her normals are slow, they do a really good job of covering space. So, like, the fact that this May is not asserting themselves at all is why I'm having an easier time. Yeah. So because this May is not asserting herself with Dolphin, my job is immediately 10 times easier. Yeah, very good. I freestyled that at the last minute. I was just like, all right, slash, heavy slash, what'll kill? IDK Mugen.
Society. Duel 1. Let's rock. Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. Not gonna kill, but I do want all three of those. Good though. There we go. Stuffed. I think that's 3-0. And it's like 10 o'clock. So I'm going to probably call it there. Yep. So yeah, it is 10 o'clock. Normally I start like an hour. Normally I stop at 9. So this is about where we're at. But alright, so I think we will call it here. Because it's about that time. So thank y'all for coming by. We're going to continue with more custom robo this Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Next Friday will be more fighting games. Fighting Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, ideally. The plan is probably, I think, if I remember correctly, Ingrid is supposed to be coming out for Street Fighter 6 this upcoming week. So Fighting Friday this upcoming week will be Street Fighter 6. We're going to play some Ingrid. I will be the first to admit that I am not like an OG Ingrid player, but I am here for her first. I am glad to be here for her first canon Street Fighter game. So we'll mess around with her a little bit, learn what's up, see what's good. But thank y'all for coming by. I deeply appreciate it. Here's some links. I do game analysis, design stuff over there. Stream VODs can be found over on my YouTube. Feel free if you want to support me in the stream, can be found over here. My phone, you can do anonymous gift giving if that's your thing. And then my card has my other social media links. If you want to know about more about the game that I'm working on, you can go check our itch page. Our website is currently under construction again. Our itch page has more, as well as a link to our Discord to learn more about Shootlancer and all that other stuff. And then the personal community Discord for the Gauge Gang here is over there. Do make sure that you read the rules, follow the instructions for DMing the magic word to one of the mods, so myself or Cintiac, once you get in, and once you've read the rules. Yes, it's a long rules document. Yes, it's on purpose. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got as far as that's concerned. Thank y'all for coming by. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, be outside, be excellent to each other. But not bigots, racist, turfs, sexist, anti-queer folks, or fascists. Remember, Black Lives Matter, trans rights, human rights, reproduction rights, and human rights. Palestine, Sudan, the Congo, New Caledonia, Haiti must all be free. None of us are free to all. Take care of each other, look after yourself, look after others. You don't have to do a lot to do that, just do what you can. We are going to go hang out with Pleasantly Twisted, mostly because they are playing some Dead House Sonata with their buds and other friends of the channel, J-Rock the God and Okay for Unapologetically Black. So we're gonna go hang out with them. Here's the raid message. And I'll see y'all whenever I see y'all, whether that's in the Discord or on stream. Till then, take care. Deuces.